Let's talk about discipleship times. The first thing that you're going to see on your dashboard as a house church leader is a space to check off discipleship times for the quarter. Our goal is to strive for 5 per quarter. That means at least 5 discipleship times is the expectation for the people in our house churches. To break that down, that's less than once every 2 weeks. I think the best thing is to schedule time for every other week, but know that sometimes life happens and that's okay. We've got grace built in. These times are meant to encourage and inspire us, not burden us with guilt. Okay, how do we put together discipleship groups in our house churches? Jesus famously went up on a mountain and prayed all night long before choosing the 12 and then sending them out in their small groups 2 by 2. So that's all you need to do. Find a mountain. Wait, there's no mountains in Michigan. Okay, we'll make this easier. Take a look at your house church. Can you pair off individuals or couples? Would it be good to have the men be a discipleship group and the women be a discipleship group, and then sometimes to pull it all together? Don't forget about accommodating kids if you have kids in your group. After you look at your group and pray about what you think would be best, ask your group. Don't tell the group. See what they think. It should be a really easy conversation. Once people know their partners or their very small groups, then they can start meeting and strive for 5 discipleship times. But what's a discipleship time? You've got awesome questions. Okay. Disciple means student. So a discipleship time can take many forms that involve growing closer to Jesus as students or followers of Christ. It can be a hang time with some spirituality sprinkled in. It can be a time to confess sin or talk about temptation. It can be a time to set goals or check in on goals that you've set together. But the main feature that separates discipleship times from just regular hang times is movement, moving forward. We're going with God, so we shouldn't be standing still in our walk with him. In Luke chapter 24, the disciples on the road to Emmaus have Jesus as their discipler, and they don't even know it, but they set a great example for us as we go with God in discipleship. First, they invite Jesus into their time. These discipleship times are spiritual times, and Jesus needs to be with us. Next, they tell Jesus how they're really feeling, what they're struggling with. They say, we had hoped, but their hopes had been dashed. And so discipleship times should be times of real honesty, and we have to foster trust so that we can have those kinds of times. The tone of it is conversational. It's not a Bible lesson. It's not another sermon. It's a conversation that is really honest and also really uplifting. Speak the truth in love. The scriptures are used. Jesus used the scriptures that day. We need to use the Bible every time. If we're giving advice that there's really not a biblical solution for, we're probably overstepping the bounds of what discipleship in Jesus is all about. And then they ended their time with burning hearts, it says, and with a clear mission of what to do next. The difference between discipleship and a house church meeting or a Bible talk is movement. A good discipleship time ends with some clear, godly decisions being made about whatever you've been talking about or praying over. One example might be someone that you're having discipleship time with is struggling with prayer. They want to pray. You know what's awesome? Jesus' disciples had that same struggle, and they came to Jesus and said, teach us how to pray. And so there's a lot of things you could do. You could pray with them. You could set up prayer times with them. You could give them books or passages to read about prayer. You could point them in the direction of somebody who you know loves to pray, and they can get help there as well. This is just a quick overview of discipleship times to get you started with your group. There's going to be a whole series of videos about how to have great discipleship times coming soon. The next video is on hospitality. Make sure you check it out.